We're exposing a multi-crore housing scam in Mumbai. A shocking story of politicians turning into land sharks, Netas grabbing flats meant strictly for the armed army. We spoke to one of the applicants who has been waiting for their flat for many, many years. Of course, it is now that we know who has been busy grabbing these properties. This is what he said.
That is at the discretion of Chief Minister. Ki once the flat has been given to Chief Minister, they can give allot it to economically जो poor sections होते हैं as per their discretion and at very marginal cost and at no cost. So the duration and all obviously it depends upon the Chief Minister.
तो किया था 1988 में, तो मुझे सैंक्शन हो गया था 1989 में। 89 में मुझे 2 लेटर्स मिले। पहला लेटर मिला कि आपको सैंक्शन हुआ है, ये फर्स्ट लेटर। फिर उसके बाद 3 महीने के बाद दूसरा लेटर आया कि ये फ्लैट आपको 2.5 साल के अंदर अंदर मिल जाएगा। भी जिनके सोर्स है उनको आसानी से मिल जाता है, हम लोगों को ये सब प्रोसेस से जाना पड़ता है क्योंकि हम आम आदमी हैं। कल 2-3 बार मैं मंत्रालय भी जाके आई, मंत्रालय में गई, मैंने देखा कि मिलेगा, मुख्यमंत्री के अपॉइंटमेंट के लिए बैठी रही, लेकिन 2 बार के बाद मुझे लगा कि मंत्रालय आने का कोई फायदा नहीं है।
Let's go across to our Mumbai Bureau Chief Sahil Joshi, who's still with us live from Mumbai. Sahil, what we're putting out here right now, the great Mumbai property scam, isn't something that's new to the politicians of Maharashtra. It may be new to all the Mumbaikars who are tuned in right now to Ground Zero, but the politicians have known this all along. We've heard Ashok Chavan, the Chief Minister, talk about the need for a change in policy. But how do you think at all that the Maharashtra establishment will react in any substantial manner to correct these obvious anomalies?
No, it doesn't look like, because this has been happening since 1988, because in 88 this policy was formed. After that there have been at least 7 chief ministers in Maharashtra. In every tenure of any chief minister, be it Sharad Pawar, Manohar Joshi, Narayan Rane, Vilas Rao Deshmukh, Sushil Kumar Shinde, everyone allotted the flats as per their decision. They allotted the flats, and we now know that whom they actually allotted the flats. The basic concern was raised in somewhere in 1995, during 1995, that such kind of flats once taken are sold at the market rate. So the government, the scheme, the 5% scheme is actually not being used properly. Then the government made a decision saying they put a slab on it, saying that once the flat is allotted, you cannot sell the flat for at least 5 years. So people started selling it after 5 years. And then the government said, okay, fine, whoever sells the flat will have to submit a particular amount of money to the government. But the amount of money which was supposed to be given to the government was in such a less amount that people, despite that, made a huge profit out of selling such kind of flats. So basically they have completely gone haywire with this particular scheme, and now as we heard Chief Minister saying that they will have to find out a new solution so that the misuse of this particular scheme should be stopped. But we will keep waiting for that, but I do not think so that anything of this sort is going to happen, because this particular quota is used to please people whom they want to keep close to them.
And it's been completely haywire since 1978, so there's no real promise that anything even remotely constructive will happen now. It's been a gravy train that several different dispensations in Maharashtra have supped on, and there is no real promise that this is going to be the end of this monumental fraud in the state of Maharashtra. Thanks very much for joining us, Mumbai Bureau Chief Sahil Joshi, our correspondent who brought us this story, Kamlesh Sutar, and our political editor, Javed Ansari. Thanks for bringing us your perspective on this story. The repercussions of this breaking story we've just brought to you will be felt immediately. Make no mistake of that. Headlines today's Mumbai Bureau will be keeping a very close watch. Politicians will be furious, and those with their hands dirty will be looking to run and hide. We'll be there to keep track.